Now,
inside
that's better.
rather than the outside.
Yes. Right, so...
Oh. Go on, it's back again.
So, welcome back. I have described where we are to Simon. I'm now trying to organise thing. Yes, everything. Right. I am awake, really. Thank you, Gareth.
One of us might be awake. It's certainly not me.
So, I should hit continue playing and find Letmoszaneg, where everything is going wrong. Well, okay, not everything is going wrong. No one is currently dying of thirst.
But there's a zombie.
So, yes, I have remembered that I can actually change the font size just by doing this. If we need to be able to see things better. But that's...
Not very roguelike.
This is actually rather curious. I did try. Dwarf Fortress does support true type fonts, so I did try giving it the open type version of Bedstead, but it got slightly confused by that. Only slightly, but it tended not to actually end up scaling it right, whereas giving it the bitmap version it just copes with correctly. So, our big problem is here, where we have Rakust Idrakust's corpse, which is happily attacking people. So...
Did she become badass at fighting when she became undead?
I think so, or at least dangerous. I mean, it's not so much actually that they're particularly good fighters. It's that they don't feel pain and most injuries don't harm them. So, like, a zombie can't bleed to death owing to not having much blood left anyway, and definitely not needing the blood. And you know, if you hack a limb off, well, that limb will probably stop doing any harm, but the rest of the creature will continue fighting nonetheless because it doesn't care that it's lost a limb. Whereas a dwarf will probably, well, will bleed to death through the lost limb, if nothing else. So, we have an problem. So one of my questions is who else is stuck in there with her. So obviously what I'm now thinking is, why on earth did I not arrange like watertight compartments but for zombies? Like, if I had doors all over the place, I could isolate this this zombie from all of the other bits of the world, lock the doors around them, and lose at most one dwarf, which would still be one dwarf more than I'd like to lose. So yeah, we haven't given anyone. We didn't. I think actually mistakenly, because I was familiar with the zombies in 0.34, I decided that there was no way we were going to successfully kill them. Having looked at the wiki, they have actually been nerfed a bit as of about 0.40. Nerved, thank you. And so probably had I like equipped myself with a bunch of half decent mace dwarves and half decent maces, we might have been able to kill them, but like I didn't, so I'm not wholly optimistic that we can fight them now. So let's just see where each of my dwarves is. We have 5 living dwarves, which is not a nice number because it suggests the second one has died recently. So I presume the Axe Dwarf and the Human Mace Man and the Human Axe Man were all visitors. Yes. So who have we got still? Oh, right. One mo.
Tippy-toppy-tee, no?
Thank you, Gareth. Let's turn that setting down a bit then. It's kind of awkward because it clips in the wrong bit of the... Yes, thank you, Pink Beast. Yes, it clips in a bit of the audio pipeline I don't have meters for. But yes, I should probably... let's shuffle these settings around further then. If I turn that down a lot, then I can safely turn that up. No, that up a lot. And that should make things better. Oops, that was slightly too loud. I've just gone into the red there. There. Right, anyway. Also, my voice is fairly croaky today. So, we've got 5 of these. 2 of them are down in the staircase, it looks like.
And every time Anne hits badger for croaky, we have to do some ridiculous exercise.
3 of them are down in the staircase. And then 2 of them are up here. Right. Are busy fighting. So we can presumably get one of these 2 out quite safely. So if we adjust our burrow that I can't be bothered making a second one of, and say no sensible dwarf is in this room, essentially mark that area as off limits for now. Oops, no, I wonder what that button did. Allow them into that corridor, not that it matters really. Oh, and allow them into that corridor as well, because I want to give them the option of fleeing in that direction. Essentially here I'm saying these areas are not off limits, but that central area, which some fool has filled with a zombie, is. Now the slight problem is, of course, that the staircase is actually connected to that central area. So the zombie does kind of have access to everyone. Wonder where we've got doors. We probably don't know. Oops. Too many escapes. So we do have some doors available there, but that's on the opposite side of the zombie from most of our problems. I'm just having terribly silly and nefarious thoughts about dropping the zombie into a pit. Well, I think let's leave the dwarves who are down at the bottom, down the staircase for now. They don't have much by way of resources, but on the other hand they're quite hard to reach. Let's just see what happens if we start allowing time to pass. Right, so that dwarf's going to get away. That one probably ate. So how are we going to sort this out? And how far away can the zombie detect us, I wonder? Thank you. I don't think I care about that at the moment. I think we're in various kinds of mess, plus that was a bad idea. That constructing that thing was a bad idea anyway. Make up your mind. Right. So So that what do I want to do here? I think ideally what I want to do is to right, I think I have
Because he had valve with teeth in where his eyes should be. Why did he have that? Was he a nightmare? Yeah, it's a good one.
so what I wonder is, can I arrange to dig through the ceiling here and thus drop the zombie and their victim into this room, which has nothing useful in it and can be isolated from the rest of the world, and then just leave them there to rot. I mean, this is going to be slightly unfortunate for the poor victim. That's one thing that worries me, yes. My hope is that they will be busy attacking the poor carpenter and won't think to attack someone else. This may be a bit brave. I presume the said carpenter does not have a pick with them. Woodcutter, rather. They're mostly covered in their own blood. This is not helpful. No, they have perfectly sensible clothes, and that's it. Which unfortunately means I can't ask them to dig a hole. So yeah, the problem is I can't remember. Can I just I suppose I could dig through from above. That might be simpler. Well, but the thing is, when you dig down from above, you can do it from one square to the side of the hole that you're digging, so that you don't fold it straight down it, because that would be kind of messy. Stand right next to the dangerous zombie who is fighting the woodcutter and dig a hole underneath it.
I've now worked out what it means. I was confused by the bit upstairs, downstairs, and up downstairs. Thinking, surely stairs go in both directions, but I assume it says yes.
From the current level.
Yes.
You have to build an upstair on the current level and a downstair on the level above in order to connect them.
Otherwise, they won't get stopped halfway.
Yes, and they don't work properly. So yes, it's like in NetHack you have a less than sign on the lower level and a greater than sign on the upper level. But I don't think in NetHack you can disconnect them like you can in Dwarf Fortress. Right, so we have an insane plan. So I need to now change all the burrow designations again. So let's say for now that you are not allowed to be in that area. That we want to build walling off there. We've got some granite blocks, but they're upstairs. Now go on, it'll be faster, even if it's more dangerous. And frankly, if it doesn't work, yeah, then they're doomed anyway, right? Then that's the first thing to do. That means we need to permit people into this area again because I've changed my mind. Define painting, because we want to let people up here at least to the extent that they can collect those blocks and dig a hole underneath the zombie. Let's try to discourage them from doing anything else. Right. That probably means that then we should, if we lock this door, so is this person any use to me? Already on that. No, they haven't got a pick, so let's just lock the door behind them so that at least they'll survive. Right, okay. So then that means that one of my miners will... That means that those two will probably go upstairs, grab a block each, come down and build that wall. Okay. So they're getting distracted by other things. Okay, now actually... I wonder if we can do... I don't want you to store items in stockpiles. I say that stockpile, can I mark this stockpile as temporarily don't fill it again? Yes, like that. Okay, does that break those jobs? No. Well, but the woodcutter has just moved away. So I wonder if actually I can do well by digging the hole underneath the zombie now, given we have a miner right next to it. This might not work, but no, that's not looking good, is it? You're still trying to store item in stockpile. I fear that the zombie is too scary. Right. So... okay, I think that plan is not going to work because we can't get close enough to the zombie. Because everyone just gets scared and then injured when they do. So... I think we unlock that door. We go back to plan A of please get out of this area. Something like that, yes. And see if anyone can escape. Which they may be able to. Because the nice thing about zombies is they lurch. They're not that way. Lurch towards that, or rather, oh dear. That's not looking good. It's not terrible. No. Probably lost an eye, but it looks like our woodcutter may escape with their life at the expense of a miner, which is kind of, yeah, I'm not sure that's a great exchange. Well, I have an algorithm for it. I mean, or you can just like scale it up. So let's just unpause briefly because, right, so we've now in the position where I think only one of our dwarves is in serious trouble, except insofar as we're all in serious trouble because there's a bloody zombie in our main like meeting hall type area. So the question is, what are we going to do about? And like that's connected to pretty much the whole of the rest of the fortress. So I think that means that we need new plans. I'm going to assume that sadly our miner is not long for this world. So what we need to do is to take our expedition leader, who is God knows where. So where is everyone then? The expedition leader is miles down there digging something completely useless. That's nice. Side not actually doing anything helpful. Right, so she's now not doing that. Our miner is being eaten by a zombie, and I think we may have to live with that. We have a carpenter who is also down the stairs, a woodcutter who is safe, and a planter who is also safe. So we have two people who are downstairs, two people who are in the northern branch that goes off to the reservoir, one water buffalo in the southern branch, and one who is liable to be killed by the zombie. So actually we want to keep that on for now. I think thus one thing that I want to do is to connect. So I think what I want therefore is to get these guys separated off from the staircase. So what I should do. What? Is to mark that staircase as out of bounds, and then the dwarves will get out of the staircase and into the only place they can get to. Excuse me, I've completely forgotten what I'm doing. So the idea here is that I just say all of this staircase, being as it is connected to a zombie, is a bad place to be right now. As is that area. And what? If I've marked the interior of the wall as safe, well, I suppose that's fine. And also that area, don't try to hide down there, it won't help you. The hope being that that will drive our remaining 2 dwarves into this little corridor, where there is a convenient lump of rock they can use to wall themselves in, and then they can dig upwards to get themselves connected with everyone else. So I'm now following him. Oh dear, that's not a helpful place to be. Right, what's happened now? That's fine, that's fine. Why are you there? Oh, I've accidentally made those... No, that wasn't the tiny place I wanted you to head for. I left this tiny sliver of corridor as part of the burrow, so they've gone that way, right. No, not what? Don't. Well, okay, if you insist. Maybe you'll live. Okay, I wasn't expecting that to succeed. What are you doing? You're the expedition leader. You're also the only miner we've got left. Don't hang around out there. I would prefer you not to feel vengeful. I would prefer you like to hide. Feel terrified, please. Also, okay, someone's died there. That's unfortunate. But we will deal with that in a bit. Dig out enough space that we can build somewhere to slaughter this water buffalo. Where are you going? Are you feeling vengeful and thus... Because it ain't going to end well if you are. I mean, I assume it's not going to end well if you are anyway. Like, you haven't done anything yet, mind. Let's let a bit more time to pass. What are you doing? I'm confused. Why? What is our expedition leader up to? I mean, she's now on the same square as the zombie, which is not currently fighting her. Okay, now she's going back again. Right. No, don't! Stop it. I'm going to ban you from that, bro, in the hope that you'll get through the door. And then I will lock it behind you. Now someone else is coming. No. Why do you keep doing this? See, now you've gone and got yourself injured, you idiot. Why did you keep running out there? Strange dwarf. Now we've got no one who can wield the thing, plus we appear to have an additional zombie. Mine additional zombies. No, I don't want to mine additional zombies. We haven't got anyone who can mine anymore. And now she's too ill to be able to outpace a zombie. And standing in the doorway. Stop it! Oh god, this is just going to be a disaster. Kind of inclined to just say, abandon this fortress, let's bring in another bunch of dwarves in a fortnight when they've all died.
It's a small window on that side. I can't tell it.
Right, sod it.
Because currently I can't tell because that's small oil. Yeah, but I could try and see, but anything you could try.
No, actually. Right. Let us go out in a blaze of glory.
Is it all going a bit stick-shaped?
Yes.
So what's your plan to go out of the blaze of glory? Any larvae you can find?
Well, no, actually to try to kill as many of these zombies as we can before we die.
Okay.
But I'm slightly surprised because... Right. We've managed to defeat one of them. I mean, the one that was almost defeated anyway. Right, well, okay, I should have done that sooner. Yes, but we only have 3 dwarves left.
This does not a viable colony make unless...
Well, immigrants will turn up when they hear how successful the colony, this outpost is being.
Well, once you've made a mural made out of tufted pigtail or whatever it is, menaces with spikes that says, we defeated the great zombie plague in year whatever.
Yeah, that'll probably help. Right, we have now a requirement to dispose of some corpses quickly. I think the best way to do that in the short term is to turn off our restriction on where people can be, stop trying to dig that lot out, and and just dig a small hole in the wall that we then wall off. No, goddammit, don't fall asleep. Okay, you, seeing as you're still alive, still awake, unlike some people. Yes, I know you're unwell in lots of ways. You're going to be allocated to mining if you can find yourself a pick from somewhere. Look, there's a mining job that needs doing, thank you. No, I don't need you cleaning. Yes, getting the blood off the walls would be nice, but it is not the highest priority.
Typically in general, convincing what the highest priority is. Like, insisting away them eating versus not getting killed.
So you keep deciding that you want to give someone some food, thinking about digging, and then just at the point when you get to the place where you might do some digging, you stop and go, actually I prefer to give someone some food. Right, let's try marking a different area for digging. Why do you just go in there and then decide you're not going to dig? Okay. Let's try asking you to dig somewhere different. Somewhere where you don't have to walk into that room. Right, well, one of the corpses is already risen, but it's in a section that has no dwarves in it, so that's kind of acceptable for now. I would quite like my dwarves not to be quite such stoats. I'm slightly wondering about just letting the idiots out onto the surface, but I don't know that they'll last long up there. Because the problem is they're all tired and hungry, and this is stopping them actually doing useful things. Where's our third guy? Oh, he's up there. That's a bit of a problem. That's a serious problem. No, don't dig that channel. Why do you want to do the one bit of digging that I don't actually need you to do anymore?
still need to dig a hole that you don't want dug.
Yeah, and not to dig the hole that I do want dug. Bloody hell, you've dug a hole. No, you haven't, sorry. You've managed somehow.
There's a zombie in the next
You haven't dug a hole. You're just repeatedly failing to dig it again. Right. This is getting boring. So, sod it. You're going out to get food, and if it goes badly wrong, it goes badly wrong. Because if you're that hungry...
I assume you can do for food rather than for blood, but
Yes. Right, now our poor dwarf is fleeing from an undead water buffalo. But, like,
what?
he thought that would be more fun than the alternative.
Is that the water buffalo you were transferred into a stationary gun?
No, there's a separate undead water buffalo.
What happens if you slaughter an animal and try to eat it when the zombie happens?
Generally doesn't result in, like, happiness. Right, how badly have things gone now that I've just gone, I can't be bothered keeping everyone out? Now, I think this is just going to lead to doom, and then I'm going to start again. I mean, like, our carpenter has apparently managed to sit down to drink things. And eat things. And, like, if we can reach the point where he's fed, she's fed. And drinking again. Right. I mean, like, this is all going very badly. But I think now we're in just, ooh! Okay, right, that's another death. We've got 2 members left, one of whom is busy drinking. Oh no, you thing Z is somewhere trying to find a drink in the next to where the well is going to be, when we can finally build a well. And the other one of whom is still asleep. Well, possibly now. It's slightly, unconscious, maybe not actually asleep. Sibrek thingamy. I haven't actually got into a fight recently. Yeah, I'm kind of... Oh dear, right. Expedition leader just died. And now the zombies are coming after the last dwarf, who is... dead. Oh, not dead. Expedition leader. And almost dead. And then we'll try again, with some new equipment.
This one is an integrated with stuff. Instead of the dinner things.
I mean, the dying is taking a little while here. Well, let's instruct them to kill this zombie just in case it'll help. Right, settlement has crumbled. Let's have another go. No, we can't bring chainsaws or shotguns or holy water. Or Diziot. Save the world. So, let's have another go. This time, I will make sure that everyone has a mace and knows how to use it. I will bring animals, because we can get animals underground fast. We will probably not try to reuse the existing structures very much, at least initially. Yes. And they're badly designed, but mostly because they're full of zombies. I mean, maybe it'll turn out that we can actually kill zombies effectively if we've got, like, 7 competent mace dwarves. I think maces are slightly better than hammers against zombies. So, reclaim. Letmoszaneg. Prepare. Right, so we are going to need at least 1 competent miner. Let's otherwise assume that we want everyone. Yeah. Yes. Yes, because when you get a dwarf, their default state is they are useless at everything, and you can then spend points to turn them into less useless dwarves.
Even the stats for like one person.
Yes.
I thought you would choose to do it to employ a specific, not a spearman. Stats on one particular person.
I think there's also describing level of the core. Somewhere at the top says doctor. Not generally in defence.
So let's just kind of so we default to a couple of picks and a couple of battle axes, which are probably worth having. Axes are good for cutting down trees. Is anything that's already? Oh, the thing is that the objects that we brought with us last time are not going to be around. Very easy to find, but on the other hand, I think frankly if I reach the point where I need an anvil, I'm probably at the point where I can get it from the surface. So let's not spend any points on an anvil. Indeed, let's generally not spend points on very much at all, because most of what we might want is going to be on the surface. And I think if we want to get food with us, we should do it by bringing animals, because we can get them inside fast and then slaughter them at our leisure. Right. So that gives us an awful lot of points to play with. So... Sorry, I think I just did the wrong thing. We'll fix that later.
Status on the country. I decided that since I was starting to crack my jaw maybe.
I'm just going to quickly look up density of materials, because in general you probably want if you're making a mace, you probably want a Yes, weight affects how much damage blunt force weapons like maces do. So I think our material of choice is probably copper for maces, which is nice because they're probably also cheap. So let's make sure that we have 7 copper maces. So every dwarf can have a copper mace of their very own.
The convenient side of the problem is that anyone who approaches gets nicked.
Thank you. So I have no idea what is a sensible animal to bring for slaughtering. Let's assume they're all more or less equivalent. Let's just bring cows. No, cows are more expensive than the rest. Well, that probably means that they have more meat on them, which is probably good. So let's bring 4 cows and a bull. Yeah, we might even be able to breed them if they can live long enough. I'm slightly worrying about filling the world with dogs. No, we don't want. In particular, large numbers of things are dangerous. We could probably do with some armour, actually. Helmets are usually the thing you most want because you want to stop people bashing your head in. Copper helms are quite cheap and probably decent against confused undead states. Indeed. Right. We've only got 31 points spare. Yes. We don't currently have any undead states in our world. Let's add a second miner. I think now, given the choice, let's bump up everyone's maceman by another notch if we can. We can't do it for everyone. Let's just do it for a few of them. Okay. Yes. That's down to 1 point. Right. So, well, that's a really weird build, but maybe it will work. So the plan here is that we primarily get ourselves and our animal and our cattle into an enclosed space that isn't one that is full of zombies, and then probably gradually make our way deeper into the existing fortress, slaughtering zombies along the way. Oh no, we first make ourselves a way of disposing of dead bodies. And then, I don't know quite what that will be. And then see if we can get reasonably deep into... It may just be we haul them all out the front door, but that feels a bit brave. Then we try to get deeper in and, do useful things. Right. Yes, I've got 1 spare point. I don't care. Right. Back to Cobaltrelics.
Presumably if things go utterly, totally wrong, you can just completely abandon the whole fortress.
Yes, I could, but...
You don't think this is an insoluble problem then?
Yes. there is a long tradition of fortresses that are repeatedly visited and that just get gradually more disastrous. There was I can't remember the name of it, a famous
We delved too greedily and too deep.
one that
Moria, because, yes.
that was widely considered on the forums to be completely unrecoverable, and someone managed to recover it with a lot of like, well, we've managed to secure this area, and but there are poisonous things on the floor which will kill anyone who treads in them, so we have to like wash the floor and wash everyone's feet all the time in order to try not to let them die of weird syndromes. And
All of our starting points and boots.
yes, and then it's critical that no one ever takes their shoes off, no matter how damaged. And they it was like, you have to have a special room where we keep replacement shoes that we keep very clean, so that people can safely change their shoes when they get worn out. And yes, I'm nowhere near at that level yet. Right. So we have our new collection of dwarves. Okay, why is nothing responding to me here? Have I managed to crash Dwarf Fortress somehow? What is that hash sign doing there? I'm confused now. Oh no, that's behaving itself again. I don't know. Right, escape. There's still a hash sign there. Yeah. No, it's definitely meant to be there, whatever it is. Oh well. Right, so let's set ourselves up a military immediately. That will just... we'll make the first slot have the expedition leader in. And then every remaining slot just be filled by someone. No, I mean, yes, actually the metal armour is probably reasonable, isn't it? That's get yourself a melee weapon and some metal headgear at least. So that should now mean that my new squad, the Jewels of Paint, if I hit... how does this work? Equipment. View. No. P, yes. No assigned items as yet, but they'll probably work it out in a bit. So, now we want to... let's just delete the old burrow. And then create a new one. So, what is the inside of the fortress currently looking like? In particular, are there any zombies in the fortress? Because if there aren't, we go in, bring all the cows in and lock the doors. So what's that? That, I think, is a ghost. Yes, ghosts not currently a problem. There's rubbish all over the place. There's a dead body there. We need to pay attention to that. So I think, amusingly, we don't know that the caverns are there anymore because I walled them off last time. So I think we have... so I think we only have one dead body and no zombies in the fortress. So I think that means we can actually get inside the fortress quickly, and that will be good. So, how do I do that? Do I just do it by making a burrow briefly inside after I carefully deleted it, and then locking the door once everyone's in. Probably yes. That door is unlocked. That door is unlocked. That door is unlocked. So let us first.
I think I recall you looking for this machine bodies of lava.
I've used lava for disposal in the past. I don't know if it was actually a machine.
Okay, I like it when it reads, I thought it was food.
I mean, I'm not sure. It's possible I have. Right, so the current plan is simply that I send everyone indoors into this area and then we work out what we're doing next. So one thing is, of course, that some of the, presumably at the moment, actually no one has their weapons or their helmets, so actually what I should do is a slightly silly thing of saying jewels of paint, move to in there, and civilian alert, everyone get inside, which should shift the cows. See if that works. Right, the problem with turning everyone into a mace dwarf is they've immediately... Right, oh yes, and of course everything is a an ambush. So one of my dwarves has... Two of my dwarves, rather, have charged out and decided to take on a zombie water buffalo. Without apparently, like, arming themselves first. I'm pretty sure we had, like, a quantity... I mean, I can't see the precise state of our weaponry, but I'm reasonably certain we have some. Look, pile of copper maces, pile of copper helms, maybe pick them up. You bloody idiots. So that seems not to be working very well because they're all following the order I gave them rather than equipping themselves first. So, let's see if we can be more... Maybe I need to actually give them a schedule. But, like, even then... The thing is that I used to know how all of this works and now I've forgotten most of it. So they're currently scheduled with the order train, which is a training order with 10 minimum people. They don't technically have anywhere to train. So what I don't know is why they are not equipping themselves with their weapons. So, Clearly I should have made them all axe dwarves, cause then and woodcutters, and then they would probably have started holding their weapons. Right. So... surely I don't have to do it like that. Alright, so no, they are thinking about getting weapons now. Yes, they've decided now what they want. Will they now go and pick them up by any chance? No, we've lost one already. Ah. Pick up equipment, right. Now they've worked out that maybe they should get their weaponry.
These include ones who are currently fighting the water weapon. Are we going to send some?
No, they're both dead. That sorted itself out.
Only in the sense that there will now be 2 additional zombie stokes to
Yes.
the next party.
Now the other mob are now going in the opposite direction from the cows. Pursued by a ghost. And the zombies have got into the fortress and are thus now going to be causing their own kind of trouble. All being well, someone will get past here, get their equipment, they seem to have got bored with their... Okay, let's at least change their order to be kill that thing, but maybe they could pick up their equipment first if they're feeling like it. No one actually thinks collecting their equipment would be a good plan. Okay, let's try something different. Let's instruct them to go to where their equipment is. Remember that I'm playing this on unnecessarily hard mode.
Even so, I never want to tower defence games because I always want to be able to micro the tower. You put a tower somewhere where it can get a good shot off and it decides to do something else. It seems to be the same problem turned up to 11 factorial.
Yes. It's okay, everyone's going to die shortly. Because no one actually seems to be willing to move. You know, they are slowly bruising this zombie, but the problem with zombies is they don't really care if you bruise them.
I can't help noticing that zombie is also one of the dress made of emu leather, which
Yes.
clearly makes them the most stylish thing in the room.
Yes. I mean, I could try to solve this problem, but I'm kind of going... Look, I was organised, I brought everyone with weaponry, and they all just died anyway. Because they didn't bother, like, collecting it. I mean, maybe what I should actually have done was stationed them above the surface with the weapon next to the weaponry, so when they suddenly decided they wanted it, they would pick it up. Yeah, not for long.
The big people are calling themselves the responsible standards
Yes.
and not, for example, the irresponsible stoats.
Okay, well, curiously, our expedition leader is still alive. If unhappy. Too late. Thought I might be able to build a wall to keep the zombies out, but no. Well, that was quick. So the plan of bringing in some military dwarves and crush the zombies rapidly was an utter disaster. I think I'm going to declare that this location is not going to bring me happiness at any point in the immediate future. And maybe go somewhere a little less scary. But probably not today because it's 4 minutes to midnight.
Yes, I think I'm doing good.
So, yes, I think that will be all for today. Maybe we will see you again on Sunday. Meanwhile, obviously you should like my video and subscribe to my channel, except that, like, I don't think it makes much difference. Yes, thank you, Simon. Some people see a zombie outbreak and think, I know, I'll send in a heavily armed militia. Now they have 2 zombie outbreaks, one of which is heavily armed. Happily, zombies don't know how to use weapons, so... Yes. So that technique, the cows worked. Ish.
Because the cows didn't have the dwarf capacity for being gorgeous.
Yes.
Are we still thinking you'd have been
Yes, we're still thinking. The cows worked. The cows, we got inside and they stayed there. The problem was everything else. Yes, unfortunately, Diz, I do actually have to mostly send... I have to send 7 dwarves. But yeah, I think next time we'll probably just dig somewhere... Like the first visit was kind of successful, except that I can't quite remember how it failed, but we got in. We managed to dig ourselves a hole and we got inside it. The second attempt was fairly successful until we met a zombie inside. So I think if I'm going to do this, the third attempt was a complete disaster. So if I'm going to do this again, I think we bring cows for food and milk and easy portability. We bring miners. We bring a door. No, we can't bring doors, so we have to bring technology for making doors. And or indeed walls. And we go, yes, actually walls are quicker. We go for getting indoors quickly. Maybe we can do this. Maybe I can do it again. Yeah, you can't carry doors, bizarrely. Or you can't embark with doors, so you have to... Suppose we could embark... We could just embark with some wood, and you can use wood to build walls. And so we can go for... Embark with miners... Well, actually, a really good miner... a quantity of wood for building walls, a lot of cows. And some optimism. Probably more than one excellent miner. But anyway, that's for Sunday. So, yes, I shall stop streaming this now. Good night all.